Hello and welcome to Danganronpa. We just got all of the clues for the second murder and we are about to go into the actual trial. Gotta say the second murder is a little bit better than the first one.
I'm getting tired of waiting. Shall we just plunge right in? It's the moment you've all been waiting for! The class trial! You remember where to meet, right? Please go through the red door on the first floor of the school. See you soon!
Oh, yo. She's not here.
Huh? Come on! What are you gonna do?
Wow, you have to actually say that.
Let's go.
My man, you gave me plenty of reasons to incriminate you. That's fine.
Well then.
Shall we go? How very sad.
Hey, come on.
It's true.
So the obvious choice would be that it's Toko. He's been talking nonsense all day. The less obvious choice would be Blondie. Or the second obvious choice would be Blondie. Because he's actually trying to imitate her, but he's not actually doing the... But yeah, because the kills were not exact. Like, no matter how you look at it, she's Toko. He might be a killer, but I don't think she killed this person. Is my problem. Don't waste our time with super sweet. Questions that get started. Good, you're riff raff. boring to go. God, say I don't hate it. Not at all. Okay, then let's get this show on the road. If long, please find your assigned seats. Blah. Deadly fate, the deadly class trial. Oh, you are so so wacky about this one. Let's set a skill. Increases the influence gauge by 2. Do I have anything else? I think I should have it. Damage to the opponent when a statement is destroyed. Effective during bullet time battle. Effective during bullet time battle. I'm putting this one. Check. Let's go.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
We have to make clear what was used to deliver the fatal blow.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
Yep.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been? I bet it was an iron pipe. Interesting. That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Oh my goodness, are we kidding?
Chihiro's, it appears it was.
According to the Monokuma file, what kind of blunt instrument? I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, it wasn't.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
The wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell. As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Duh.
Yay! That's so creepy!
And that's what I mean, girly. Like, people will get freaking terrified.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit.
Why would you move on directly to the cop?
I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
No. Okay, tell me. That is not gonna happen. So that's only for me? Probably.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
Come on! There's just no proof.
No, it's wrong!
Oh, goodness. Took forever to get that.
Might know one reason he could be involved.
But I don't particularly like the idea that I'm going down the...
I found this file. while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth. So let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be two defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Booblust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
I got it! Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way. Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of.
But it's not a good one.
It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes. In fact, it's Toko.
What?
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
You lie!
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has like bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle. Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
Yes. Elysium M. What is it? Oh. Kid. It's all.
Now I understand. Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
Huh?
I think I read that somewhere in the file, too. They thought that the suspect might have, what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
I got it! You're talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can't handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Yeah.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
Yeah, because he's
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised! I can't believe you lied!
That's because it's the perfect excuse for him to get away with this
Only
murder.
yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise...
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
How many times do I have to tell you? I never said that, but you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it, but
Your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
There's way too much evidence for this to be the conclusion.
You don't mean...
Yeah, they want to hear from Jack.
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
What the heck?
So she's the young, the or the one.
Huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Come on.
What happened
Let's get him out.
Not Toko. That's a loser name. And what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's fault.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
Oh, come on, start defending yourself.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you. I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true. How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless. I mean, they just let this idiotic, bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town.
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself
Goodness me.
causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This
Okay.
should be enough to convince you. This
No,
murderous
no, no, no,
fiend
no, no.
is
You're not getting
responsible
away
for
with this.
Chihiro's death. There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
A motive?
No.
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed. Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
I know.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion. Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster!
No, no, no. She's right. Come on. Let's go.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things. Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches.
No, that's wrong.
Yes. Good. I got you, bastard.
Are the methods of murder really exactly the same?
No, they're not.
I'm not so sure about that.
Come on,
I
let's
think
go.
there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's a lot of differences. Number one, the type of the body that we have.
How's it any different?
She only killed
You
men.
don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things.
Exactly. She has the fucking scissors. They're all man.
Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense. There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
There's one clear difference in the photo. The body, the style of the blood message, the victim's fatal injury. It was
For
down.
one, the cause of death is different.
I think it was bleeding out, right?
In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors.
Yeah.
But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Mention her gender. They were all
It's strange for
girls.
someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method. And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So
saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them.
Yes, sir.
Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but he's wrong.
Yes, there's a third one. It's the gender. Come on.
Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
The most obvious one.
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
Yes, they're all men.
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
Come on. There we go.
I got it! Is it because Chihiro was a girl?
Yes, bingo.
Right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They were all guys.
They were all guys?
Yep.
That's right! The people I kill with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men! I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it.
No.
Now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an
Yeah.
Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely. When you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Don't the girls get out? Scissors?
I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, godness.
She's fully equipped. That's right. So I can kill anywhere, anytime. Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong. You can't, can you? Gutter dogs, all of you. Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot. So rope's totally out of the question anyway.
I have no idea what's going on anymore. Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
There's one more person.
That's why we figured it had to be the real deal and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Yes. Wait, oh yeah, the bear. Okay, they skipped the bear, which makes sense.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
Yeah.
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
Oh, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me.
It was obviously gonna
And
fall
I
on
must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange. You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
You just dug your grave because we didn't know.
That, I'd say.
No. No.
Contrary, there's something very
Exactly.
strange.
Oh my god, he has brain
Okay
cells.
then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
What is it? Then good luck and have fun. Okay.
So, you said Byakuya was acting... If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural reaction.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first.
There was no time. What's so strange?
you wish you took me with you. Oh, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... If you're presented with the opportunity,
That's a natural.
The victim was Chihiro.
No, it's wrong.
Okay. Finally.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was.
Yes,
So your
thank you.
claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead, show us. What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
Yeah, there is.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents. The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Mm-hmm. She was killed in the guy's bathroom.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope
Before in my... Obviously, somebody else must
Oh,
have had it
goodness.
hidden away somewhere.
What? The difference? You want me to explain? When I want to kill, and I use those same scissors. But Chihiro, it was some kind of...
That's right!
Then there must be
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
No, that's wrong. Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, Or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
Then Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message. I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right? What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
That's kind of true, unless there's somehow a revelation
but
here.
Still, there's something that's still bothering me.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime. Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath. What about all that bothers you?
But it wasn't killed there.
I got it! You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place somewhere else?
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world, she was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that. How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
Well, I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
I believe I do.
Hey, don't just move on without permission. What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
Oh, there was actually quite a lot of things that were switched between the boys and the girls' bathroom.
I got it! The proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big-boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms. You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet, but I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
I got it! The stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
Huh?
Why would they go through all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
Yeah.
Into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device, but Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Yep. Yes.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! Shoot!
Did Chihiro really...
She must have hacked. She was the ultimate. I'm sure that would have... Well, I don't... She used this... Huh?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook.
No, that's wrong!
No, I don't think Chihiro used Leon's handbook.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
I am struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Plus, isn't there a regulation against using someone else's handbook?
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts glaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just... wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Hold on a second.
Finally.
I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right?
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting? Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Huh? For real?
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your lofty expectations. So, shall we go?
Okay. Where is she taking us? To the
girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time. Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Okay, here I go. I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion. What? This is... What is this?
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Oh goodness.
This girl is a boy.
Ah.
I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this fact.
Wow. So disrespectful. My god, what the fuck, game? Could you maybe not? Ew.
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Why would you do that? Why would you kill your only trans character? Oh, okay.
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, no, I'm really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
Oh
So
my goodness.
that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting.
But you probably don't care.
Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now
Why?
let's
You
ride
knew about this.
wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial. Ahem. I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
That's very disgusting.
Yes,
Okay.
well, I don't know his
It's very
reason for
degrading
hiding it,
for
but the fact
everybody.
is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy.
That means her badge worked on the guy's room. That would make sense why she was killed in the guy's room and then it had to be moved to the girl's room.
And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
Well, that is insensitive of you. What if she wanted to be a girl or whatever?
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room and was then later moved to the girls' locker room. And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Because you would have found out that he was a... Actually, no, you're the only one who looked. Huh.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become very interesting indeed.
Yes.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
I want to say
Well,
yes.
without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery.
There is something that I do not want to think about.
The way he's acting, it makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
Yes, it's clear that he's not the killer from the way the game is going,
And
but...
you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder.
But
At least,
why?
that's how I see it.
He was trying to protect somebody.
And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again, when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy, if you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
You can't have happened to come across the... This is stupid. When did you come across the corpse? When were the doors unlocked? That early on, you went there, happenstance, saw that the doors were unlocked, you just went to the girls' locker room and then decided to stage that in order to what? Frame a girl that you knew wasn't the killer that would get you killed? Are you dumb?
Are you fucking with us right now?
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why?
Yeah.
Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say? Now then, if it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
We're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
Oh my god, it's you, isn't it?
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
My man, you are
Because if we're
sweating
wrong,
balls.
We all die here.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
The killer is a guy.
I got it!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
Oh,
Sure, if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
yeah.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer! And only the killer! And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man! Game over!
Yeah! No! Not game over!
Isn't there a single clue?
Did nobody get... I'm sure if someone saw the...
Perhaps someone saw the victim.
Yeah.
It's over! You want to know who saw the victim? The killer! And only the...
No, it's wrong! I believe someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro, in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket in a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd. Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Because he couldn't exercise with you. You were in the girls' locker room.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Huh?
You know who the killer is.
Yeah, I kinda do. I just didn't want to think about it.
Seriously?
Who is it? Who's the killer?
You, man. You. He liked you.
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on 2 pieces of evidence that we don't have?
What? You want to track
Yeah.
down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took. First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
No, it's wrong.
No.
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Yeah,
What'd I say?
know. I'm sorry. I seriously don't want to consider this option. Wow. That is so disappointing.
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said,
Saw him stuffing the jacket into a duffel bag, and then I assumed he head off to exercise.
she never said anything about the
The
jacket's
jacket's
color.
Yeah.
So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
What are you just...
Come on, man. It's obviously awesome.
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
Green.
As a matter of fact,
What?
it was...
Ah, right in the back, yeah.
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Because I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was is if he saw Cherry with it before he died! That's the only possibility!
Cherry?
Are you talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night.
Oh man, did you seriously? Oh man, I don't want to think about it. I just don't.
He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony,
she's gone.
when
Yeah.
Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the back. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it. To put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question. There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude.
What? Are you kidding me?
Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't notice that.
Witch! She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you?
Yeah, I need to hear
Did
this.
you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
My time has nearly come.
Finally.
That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really...
Oh, come on.
Here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
I got it! We know Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
I got it! You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip. But I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
I think it's a necessary piece of information if you want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example? Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown and totally break!
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the mystery.
What if they found out by accident?
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke? They'd realize it was broken,
it's obvious
of course,
he was with
and it
two
wouldn't be hard to
scrolls.
figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
Oh, that's why he moved it to the girls' locker room, because he couldn't afford to prove that his handbook was broken.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that? I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was... Here's my answer! Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember? And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on. But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on. You've got it all wrong. He would never kill. I don't accept this. Show me the proof. The actual solid proof.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, You broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
No, that's wrong! Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's. Which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so. I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch!
What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong! Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong. First, let's take a look back to before... Last night, Celeste saw at the time, she was apparently stuffing something in... That something was a blue With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out. Even though it was officially... She made her way to the locker room. But how could the victim, who was a... Simple. Because she was really... Which is why he was able to use his own handbook to get... Once inside, he met with someone there. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached, and attacked him. And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was which is what then... And finally carrying the corpse, a girl's handbook was necessary, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer... After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had using one of those, a boy could get into... And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker. That could have been the end of things. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation. So, after stumbling, he went and grabbed the extension cord. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he wanted to create the illusion that And around the same time that Byakuya was the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, there, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna... And that's how it all played out. Isn't that right, Mondo Orada?
Wait! No! This can't be right! Where's your evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence? You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Oh god, they're stupid. Oh, F you, I can't believe I have to fight you for this one.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! I refuse to vote!
Excuse
Show
me?
me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False!
I thought you said this doesn't happen here, but okay.
Show me some evidence! I won't listen! False! You're corrupt! I refuse to vote! I refute you! False! You're corrupt! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! I refuse to vote!
Shut up, man.
Show me some evidence!
This should prove it.
Shut up, man. Just shut up.
If my thinking so far is right, Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
Bro! What are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that.
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting, no holding on. Time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Come on, bear.
What? Unbelievable.
Kiyotaka?
Sorry.
What is this?
Now then. Actually...
Oh god. had an extreme inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. You're so weak even though you're a boy. You'd hear things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and bury himself further and further into that weakness. To take on the fragile form of a petite young girl, he had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be able to say anything about even though you're a boy, and no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside him and was not so easily weeded out. As it turns out, the shell was completely empty. The complex didn't disappear, instead it only grew stronger and stronger. I'm weak. Weak. Once the killing game had begun here at the school, we had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world of survival of the fittest, if you're not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secret. Of course, he concluded Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dressed like a girl, Chihiro was actually a boy.
Hey,
And that was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out, no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall apart, without a doubt. Those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being turned into such a dilemma must have sent him spiraling into despair, and yet...
I'm sorry. But...
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to become strong, then I can tell everyone. Annoyingly, he used the bread of discovery to motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right. I want
Now's
to
my
change.
chance. I'm going to get stronger and accept who I am, strong enough so that someone saying even though you're a boy, I'll be okay, it'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action, and so that day he made a commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body, but sadly that would be the first and last chance he would get at it.
Hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help, but he wanted to tell that person his secret first and then ask them to help him from there, and that person he went to...
Right.
It was me. Yep, it sure was. The biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were, so Chihiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret. Plus, Mr. Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always aspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage, so he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to that. So then that must be why Mondo did what he did, to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro. Did what he did? You mean that's why Mondo carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room into the girls' locker room? Yes, that's exactly what I mean. What the fuck? What's that to... Wasn't that to cover up what he's done?
Certainly.
That could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real purpose was to keep the promise between men he'd made to Chihiro. But how does moving the body keep his secret? Because if everyone knew he'd be killed in the boys' locker room, then everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he'd made to Chihiro, who he'd also killed. Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why did you? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. The possibility of having your embarrassing memory and secret exposed.
What is this?
Impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something he didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant killing someone. It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat? Judders by our own standard is the highest of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, he obviously can. That's all there is to it. Well, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you the embarrassing memory that scared the secret he didn't want anyone to know? You know what Mondo did? He killed his own brother. Mondo, the ultimate biker gang leader, makes all the hoodlums and rifle rappers across the country tremble, but the only reason he had that chance to join a gang in the first place was because of a certain someone. Mondo's older brother was named whatever. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It was because of this man that Mondo even got on a motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust or respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the stray-eye kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, that's his name, right? Daya. It's the older brother. Number one in the gang, and he's number two, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning of the briefing was peaches and gravy. But when Mondo started to think about how he would have to take over the gang from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation began to gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya, huh? Daya created this gang with his bare hands. Mondo was just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? All that'll do is make the gang look bad. Most every day Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of other members of the gang, which is why
I just...
gotta get stronger than Daya once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta win.
With me.
I don't care what it takes, I gotta come out on top. And on the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. But during the race, tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon, eager for victory, and dashed into oncoming traffic, but suddenly... Flying in his kid brother's arm, the older brother delivered his final words. My bad kid, the fucked up, sorry. Of course he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. Hey kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together, cause it's the team you and I put together. It's a promise between man. He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang in order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother. He could never admit to anyone that it was his own weakness that had caused the accident, and as a result, the team was made even stronger than under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Daya was gonna lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he was willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I just...
I'm strong, sir. And yet, soon as our killing game began, he realized no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma. At that point, it was clear I would have no problem shedding light on his secret. Mondo killed his own older brother. That is actually not true, but sure, bitch. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it all would have been for nothing. So that's why I... After I saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. I'd never felt anything like it before. I didn't know what to do about it. I wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while that fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my... And it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right then he told me a secret. Seriously, Jesus. I'm sorry, I lied to you. But why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden? Because I mean, you've kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone finds out, you would. You're right, but...
I want to change.
I wrapped myself in lies. I'm weak. I wanted to destroy that version of me forever. His words were like a knife in my gut. It felt like he was exposing the lie I'd been living myself. I had to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong. It can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret. Oh, I was jealous. I was jealous of Chihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I'd never had, so I was jealous of him, and that jealousy broke me.
What?
Are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you breaking with me right now?
No!
I'm not making fun of you. You really are strong, Mono. It felt like I could hear something starting to creak. Something inside my head. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why did you have to tell me all that? Are you trying to ruin my fate? Rub my failures in my face.
I just wanted to...
I just really admire you. I admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. I am strong. I'm strong. Stronger than you.
Son of a bitch.
And stronger than... I don't remember anything after that. When I woke up, he was lying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the double in my hand and I was just staring at him down on the ground. I killed
him.
Okay.
I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been. And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Well, this time you actually killed a person, you dumbass. He did that he hid a 3-week side away from everyone. That was his secret. A weakness like that lives in a heart like his and it turns into cold blood. Look at him, you see, you're all just like him. For a secret from the past, for a memory, for that he killed another even human in cold blood. He couldn't cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what the true strength is. What true strength is? Bear, you have no idea what that is yourself. Do you see hope anywhere in there? Cause I sure don't. You bastard! Shut up, you son of a bitch. Go ahead, say it. Again, I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, I'll say it as many times as I want what I want to say, but unfortunately I can't do that right now because the time for punishment is approaching. Punishment, you mean execution, exactly. That's what I promised you, right? The blackened that disrupts the peace will be punished.
Ridiculous!
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Mondo, the ultimate spike again. There, blah. Wait.
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
I said wait.
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Oh my god. Bear, you sadistic fuck. Was he vaporized? The bike should have been vaporized too. Ew! Oh god, you sick fuck. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. You are a sick fucking bastard. My brother, another murder, another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. Feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. Oh my goodness, they broke him. Starka sad screams invaded our skulls. We were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course, he had to. My disappointment. This is the end of the game. Yaka, you're completely insane. You know that? The game, one of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do, because this game is life or death.
Hey.
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except that I just don't understand why. Why did you go out of your way to disguise Mondo's crime? Because he wanted to catch the bloody killer, but he was willing to sacrifice all of you and his own life.
What?
Obvious, because it made things more interesting. What? Oh, chilled me. His voice was calm, emotionless like the voice of death. It chilled me to the bones. I don't give a fuck, actually. You're kind of a sick bastard, but last night when the murders took place, I was in the library as usual. So you ignored the nighttime rule too. That rule never mattered to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
Well, I don't particularly care. Please continue. Night grew late and I decided to attend to my room, which is when I stumbled upon him. I spotted Mondo coming out of the girls' locker room. After he'd gone, I looked inside and saw the corpse. You mean you actually witnessed the murder? He was such a fool. He didn't have the slightest idea that I'd seen him. So you're saying you know who the culprit was from the very beginning? I should have let you die just once. I would have wanted to just let you die. Indeed, but if that had been the end of it, how boring would that have been? I mean, what a waste of time to have the answer revealed right at the beginning. Which is why I decided to lend a little helping hand, you piece of shit. But it would liven things up. You did all that to liven things up. So after hearing about Genocide Jack from Toko, you decided to use that to create the fake murder scene. But damn man, if we haven't figured out who'd really done it, you would have been there too, right? Well, obviously I would have revealed the truth before it reached that point, of course. Yeah, and then look me in the eyes. I could feel that that's actually not possible because I actually failed this scene. I failed more than any other, and you never get to reveal it. They always kill me, and as a result, you die too. So I am a little bit happy about all of those failures, knowing that I got to take you down with me, you son of a bitch. I could feel his sharp eyes piercing into mine. Oh my god, how romantic. That's what certain remarkable someone it never did. Oh my god, thank you. I failed so much, but thank you. I will take the point. I was able to perform an interesting experiment. Once I do decide to become black, and I now know who I'll have to watch out for. Better said, who you have to kill. You have to kill main character Kun, of course, because main girl Kun unfortunately has no influence in this group. Well, so that was your reason. Yeah, should have figured. Are you satisfied? Yes. We're done listening to your story. Moving on. There's something I'd like to ask Monokuma. Okay.
What's this?
Oh, I'm up next. You like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is why? They like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is my gift to mankind itself.
What?
You're over-exaggerating. I am not over-exaggerating. These punishments are meant to transform all hope to despair. What do you mean? Mean? Me? God grief, I don't understand why you have to pick apart every little stupid thing. Look at this man, whatever, it doesn't matter. In the end, I'm going to stand alone as the victor, and then everyone will be revealed. Everything will be revealed to me. Ah, the noble son of the noble family, truly you understand me. I think that this is the start of a terrifying friendship. Oh my goodness, shut up, I know. I've never stooped to the level of a childish criminal like you. Let me just say this, after I have achieved complete victory, you're up next, oh Lord. I'm going to find you and kill you, understand? For which victory is a foregone conclusion. So cool! It's like you're the main character of a video game or something. No trash mall for you. Lord. I swear whatever it takes, I will kill you. So it does affect him somehow. Temper, so it was like someone needs a nap. My goodness. He's a little fun, but I also hate him. Nakuma laughs. Laughter pales across the courtroom, and the curtains close on the case of Chihiro and Mondo. Okay, my thoughts about that case. Can't wait until next episode. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.